What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today some more Dragon Ball Fighters for y'all. And today, for the next video in this series, I'm gonna go back to a season 1 character and talk about all the issues with Goku Black. Now, he's a pretty interesting one. A lot of people really like evil Goku. And honestly, when the game came out, he was a pretty strong character. So what happened to him, what's good about him, what's bad about him, and how do I feel about him as a character right now? So here we have Goku Black. So a thing about him is that right now, in a lot of people's head, he is like just bad, straight up. But I think he's a pretty interesting character to talk about because he's like just before like truly not playable in this game, I think. And like my line for not playable is just like, you know, they're still okay too, but if you're playing them, you're really kind of memeing, or you just really like the characters and you know that there's better options. And for me, those characters are Frieza, Android 16, and probably SSJ Goku. So the fact that there are people out there who are like, he's fucking trash, so like straightforward, just kind of to me shows how good the characters are overall in the game, because despite his bad points, I think he is still a character you can pick and do pretty decently with. So with that being said, let's talk about his good points. So first, it's definitely mobility. So he's got this dive kick move. Dive kicks, we know, are very good in this game. The other really nice thing about this dive kick is that it jails into vanish, and we do know this is pretty uncommon in the game. He also has teleports to move around the screen, and he has a lariat where he fires ki blast, and it goes a little further than full screen. He has good frame data compared to other characters. So for example, his jab is -2, it's pretty uncommon. His auto combo is -5. His full auto combo is also -5. 2L also -5. His 2M -4, and his 5M -5. So he has a really good spread of buttons, and his staggers are good because of this. I would say he has pretty good buttons too. So jump heavy, pretty big. His jab's pretty big. His auto combo basically was a meme when the game came out. And we cannot forget the 2H of the gods, where that was another meme from season 1. So that combined with his mobility makes him a pretty strong presence in neutral. He also has an air level 3, nice to play neutral with. Always good to have a tool like this. And his assists are not too bad as well. So his A assist is the classic, the MVP, the S tier assist, a full screen beam. His B assist is a little bit interesting. It's extremely fast. This move is like 20 frame startup, 29 frame block stun. It's actually like kind of good on paper. And I feel like this assist has head invincibility of some sort. His C assist is this dive kick. It's tracking, so it tracks people in the air, which is kind of nice. Now you guys know me. If there's an assist that drags someone from the air to the ground, you know I automatically like it. Now let's talk about his weak points. So one thing that's come up in the discussion about this character is that he has a technique he can use to make it so that he can control the way he moves with his EX teleport. It's called super jump install. So normally when you do EX teleport, you do have air options, but he just kind of falls. So you can air dash back, you can air dash forward, but by putting a super jump input into the input for the EX teleport, you can make it so that he floats and drift whatever way you want. So if you can execute this, you get a pretty potent mix-up, as you can see here. But you have to also remember that moves are not jump cancelable in Dragon Ball Fighters, so you don't have a lot of opportunities to actually do this. You'd primarily get to do it off stuff like jump-ins like that. If you try relatively standard ways of opening people up with assists, then he's much easier to defend against. Now, to be honest, I think he is one of the main reasons why characters not having a 2L low is such a meme in the Dragon Ball Fighters community. But I actually think he's just missing out, you know? So in comparison, in Season 2, right, SJ Goku does not have a 2L low either, but he has a more stable kind of neutral game. He does have a faster low. At this point, he has a 12 frame low, so it's slower than Goku Black's. But at that time, he had like a 10 frame low, and he had good synergy with basically every character. And he had this lovely move. So that's a 24 frame overhead, but you could use it really well as a Dragon Rush crush, like something to target someone's Dragon Rush tech. And there's all sorts of funky stuff you could do with his EX version of the Dragon Punch. So Goku Black has this. This is what most people are asking to get buffed. He has a 31 frame command grab. It's pretty slow. Now a lot of people say this is inexcusable, but we do have this, right? So Piccolo has the same type of thing. It's like a 30 frame command grab. Point blank is faster, it's like 28, but still quite slow. So what makes it fine for Piccolo to have a slow one, but not fine for Goku Black to have a slow one? Well, for starters, Piccolo has always had really good mix-ups. So it's not like he's struggling to hit you, so in his case, that command grab just supplements his mix-up. He has so many things to hit you. He's got tricky same side EX elbow or cross-up EX elbow. He has standard mix-up selections that all other characters have as well. And he has his multi-hitting JM or one-hit JM into low. Goku Black has none of these things, so it's much easier to deal with this than Piccolo's 5S. And to make matters worse, you have to spend a bar to confirm this. There are probably some assists that will help you confirm it, but the point is you need to use a resource, where Piccolo generally does not have to, especially in the corner where he can just combo because it's just a normal button. So while it's okay for a character to quote-unquote not have mix-ups because he does have a pretty good stagger game and a good conditioning game, the thing is he's framed as a support character. The next issue is this. So he has a lariat type move in God Slicer, and conceptually it's a really good move, but the beginning hits are a key blast, so someone can try to intercept you and hit you with super dash or key invincible moves. This might not feel like a big deal, but depending on your character, it can be pretty easy to deal with the move. The speed with which he travels is really nice, but it still doesn't change the fact that a lot of top tier teams and strong meta teams right now all have really good presence against key blast moves, and the fact that it's so easy to deal with that makes it really hard for him to function at that range in full screen. So because of this, it's again another example of he kind of wants to fill a support role, but he can't, like he needs assist more. We would call a character like Master Roshi pretty mobile. His mobility doesn't rely on other characters so much. Every character who can move around the screen quickly in this game really benefits from having an assist, but usually there's only like one move where you're like, oh, I need to do this with an assist. So an easy example for my boy Roshi would be just the horizontal air super dash. This goes really far, it goes farther than full screen, and if you have an assist, it's pretty easy to cover the gap that he can't. God Slicer covers an amazing angle, but again, it loses to things that beats Key Blast. So I also feel like he needs some type of support. Now the last thing is, I don't know why, but they gave him this as his DHC super. There's not a lot of flexibility with his DHC super, and because it has an animation, like a cinematic animation, everything else that's going on the screen while it's happening is cancelled. It's a pretty odd choice considering he has another air level 1, and this works like so many other DHC level 1s in the game where he just poses up, he throws the thing, and if there's things going on the screen, it'll just continue as well. My thoughts on him basically at this point are that he's kind of like a lost character. So I had a phase of, oh, like maybe you should just play him another role, like you should play him in point or you should play him mid. So right now I think basically he's one of the only characters in the game that you have to play mid, because he needs support, but he is supposed to be a support. It's a really odd type of character. Most of the good middle characters and good anchor characters of the game can be played in either position. I've talked about it a lot on the channel and my thoughts on teams, and my team is a really good example in that I play both Roshi and Broly, and most people think of Broly as an anchor character, but my intent with my team is to bring Broly earlier in the game. I'm not waiting to get like body just to play him and try to rely on limit break. I want him to come in with both assists because he's honestly a really good character. But if it comes down to it, I pick the order of my team so that if I'm getting beat really badly, then my last character will be a character that is good in that slot. Broly. Characters with beam assist tend to be played as anchor because you want both your point and your second character to have that support. Goku Black specifically, once you get to a certain level of play, he struggles when he's alone. So you want to have him with support, but if you play him point, you're sacrificing playing someone like Kibu or Base Vegeta or 21 or Gotenks. And if you play him mid, you're missing out on a ton of characters who are not only more powerful and have more reliable, easier ways of hitting people, but also offer more to a team overall. So this character could use a little help, to say the least. I meme about him a lot and about his privileged jabs and all this stuff, but I think if they address 2 of the points I mentioned, he would be a much better character. But I think the devs forgot about him. Whoops. So let me know what you guys think. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.